Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video. We're going to talk about the video game industry. We're going to talk about the final boss of modern gaming, of AAA gaming, possibly changing form into a more powerful form. And it's going to require a different skill set if this boss is to be defeated. If this is true, we're going to talk about something called Bridge, and a VTuber, I believe it's pronounced, I could be wrong, Kersha? Is it Kersha? A VTuber is talking on Twitter about Bridge, which is sort of a new, improved version of DEI. So what we're seeing now in gaming, and what we're seeing now in journalism and in Hollywood, I believe, is a lot of outspoken activists are being purged from those industries because they're actually causing financial harm to the companies that they work for by spouting off about politics nonstop all the time. This is kind of, dovetails with the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff. And now I think Grums is out there on Twitter talking about different community managers at different game companies that basically activists have been embedded in the video game industry. Now, whether or not it's like a concerted effort, I mean, that's up for debate. It could just be that where a lot of these companies are located, they're very left-leaning areas. I mean, a lot of them are, Seattle and California, and you know what I'm saying? So you're going to get people that are probably more left-leaning working in those industries. But this VTuber says that there's something more insidious going on, that they're giving the appearance of walking back activism in gaming and other industries, but they're going to come back with something new. They're going to repackage it as something called Bridge. And we're going to take a look at this because it is kind of interesting, because I found this too on my own, that Google actually has a whole section out here talking about taking the diversity pledge. And it came out in 2023 or 2022. I think it was 2023, which is about the same time that this Bridge thing started, as I gather. So this is basically this year's flavor of activism being injected into entertainment, into gaming. And it might be, according to Twitter, if it's true, it could be more insidious than the DEI stuff, because that's more in your face. This is more, we're gonna give the appearance that we're not doing it, but we're totally gonna do it. We're gonna bury the pill in the ice cream a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna be learning about this as you're learning about it. We're gonna read through a couple of Twitter threads here and try to get a handle on what this is. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Check out the audio version of Clownfish TV. We have that. If you go out to, wherever you find podcasts, there's an audio edition of Clownfish TV, and we have the D-Res podcast out there. We are going to be doing more live streaming on Twitter. So follow us on Twitter, on X. It seems like more people watch our live streams, or at least get notified of our live streams over there. So if you want to see more streaming, and it's going to be multiple topics. I mean, we'll do podcast episodes, we'll do gaming, lots of gaming videos. I might do some live drawing, that kind of stuff. Check us out over there. Some of that content might come over here. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about this, because this has been a huge topic in gaming lately. People that are for and against DEI in gaming. On the for side, you have people saying that historically the gaming industry has been too white and too male and too privileged, and we need to have different kinds of people working in the video game industry and their voices heard. And I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I think that the most qualified people in any case should be the ones that are given a platform. And that is kind of where, I think a lot of gamers are coming from, is that we have people being given an artificial boost, their voices artificially magnified, some of their, the things that offend them being made mandates. I mean, we talked about Microsoft saying that you aren't allowed to have attractive women in games anymore because it might make people feel bad. Well, that's a very, 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 very small percentage of gamers that are going to be made to feel bad about attractive women in games if you look at the sales of Stellar Blade, right? Just one of many examples. So gamers are actively rejecting this sort of ideology. And there are companies out there. There are several companies out there, consultancy firms out there, sensitivity readers, that they're basically marketing themselves to game studios because of the popularity of video games, because of the platform having the reach that it has. They're marketing themselves to these companies as consultants. They come in, they tell them what's wrong with their game. They make changes to the game. They rewrite things if they have to, and the games fail, because gamers can smell this. Well, now apparently this new version of this is going to be a little more difficult to detect. So this is Scratch Point on Twitter, tweeting. I think it's Kirsha. I'd be crazy to stay silent for fear of being labeled, while an insidious ideology permeates throughout every facet of society. Never be shamed out of speaking the truth. Bridge is the new iteration of DEI, and it must be stopped for the well-being of all. Kirsha says, super happy to see a lot of figures finally start talking about it more than just a rebrand this time. It's the normalization step to entrench Marxist ideology into your life, using DEI as a vessel. Hopefully we can get ahead of this before it becomes inescapable. Do not get demoralized. And this person, you sound like a crazy person. Yeah, that happens a lot. Anytime somebody's like, hey, there's this thing going on. You're crazy. That's a conspiracy. It's not true. And then you find out like 6 months later, like, whoopsie doopsie, it's totally true. I mean, I am not saying every conspiracy theory is true. But in the last couple of years, we've seen quite a few conspiracy theories be proven true. They try to tell people they're crazy. They try to, the detractors come out in force. The media works to shut people up. I mean, we saw this, especially during the pandemic. Certain opinions were not allowed. And then it came out after the fact that, yeah, okay, they were right. They're right. But we're just going to sweep that under the rug and move on. So they've got multiple threads out here, and you can go out and check out the threads talking about it. And it does sound like another flavor of the same thing. You go down here. This is what they're saying Bridge is. Bridge is a purpose-driven community biased to action focused on the workplace, workforce, and marketplace. The Bridge mission is to create a cultural shift in companies where DEI principles flow through all facets of an organization, from the C-suite and marketing through product development, procurement, and customer service. So it's not just, hey, we're going to haul you into the cafeteria to talk about, being nice to your coworkers who are gay or whatever. That's not what we're not going to just limit it to HR, which historically DEI stuff has been limited to HR and then it's spilled out everywhere. They're talking, no, we want to take over the whole company. And we're going to take over all the companies in every industry, and you will comply. That's what this seems to be alleging. With the variety of programs that Bridge offers, including proprietary research, storytelling, workshops, events, and more, we identify, dismantle, and rethink the structures in place that currently contribute to the gap in belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity, and equity. Bridge is an acronym for these. So yeah, it's basically DEI plus extra steps. Our long-term goal with the help of our founding board members, composed of DEI and business leaders, is to create a comprehensive Bridge agenda for all companies and to subsequently certify against its implementation and measure an impact. So yeah, and look, a lot of companies, they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, yeah, we don't want to be bigots. So let's let the foxes into the hen house. And then you get Sweet Baby Inc. and they come in and they rewrite stuff and whatever. But, to be fair, I'm going to be fair. Sweet Baby Inc. never would have had the clout or the influence that they had unless somebody let them in. So this is more research this is back in January. So I was looking for a Bridge and I came across this. Socialimpact.com Bridge. And they're talking about Bridge Bridge 2.0, Bridge 1.0, media, and FAQs. And yeah, this is coming from socialimpact.com. They said that Bridge is an institutional survey that explores diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility metrics, structures, and practices at the organizational level across U.S. registered organizations and in the international development and humanitarian sector. Bridge has become a social movement of organizations dedicated to using evidence to advance DEI goals within their organizations at the sectoral level. The data from Bridge serves as a tool for our community to ground truth organizational practices with evidence, and serves as a call to action to advance equity and inclusion in the sector. Why was it developed? For many organizations in the U.S., attention to DEI increased exponentially after the murder of, can I say his name on YouTube without being demonetized? After the thing that happened in summer of 2020 that became highly controversial. And the massive racial justice mobilization that followed. In response, many organizations in the international development sector searched to find documented efforts at the sectoral level on the extent of the industry's DEI challenges. What they found was a startling gap in publicly available sector-wide data on diversity. So this was Bridge 2 was launched last year. They said Social Impact launched the Bridge 2 survey. In this second round, 2 years after the initial benchmarking survey, Bridge 2 focused on two components. So it seems like they are basically just getting data, but these Bridge 2 allows to explore trends in workforce diversity and DEI practices between 2021 and 2023, as well as enhance our understanding of what is and what is not working, so we can adapt and improve our organizational DEI practices based on evidence. So the survey was closed in 2023. So this is a recent thing. This is pretty recent. So if what Kirsha is, I hope I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I don't pronounce anything right. But if what this VTuber is saying is correct, then they're basically just taking a step back and they're like, okay, we can't be overt. Let's be covert. And let's be sneakier with it. Let's make it look like this is the theory that's being, and again, this is a theory. This is a theory that's being put out there. It's not my theory. I'm just trying to make sense of this. The theory is that they are, as I understand it, they're just going to be a lot more covert. That they're going to give people the impression that DEI is out of vogue and, we're not going to shove it in your face, but we're also going to embed it, weave it into the organization at such a level that you cannot escape it. And it actually will become a job requirement to abide by it. That is my bird's eye view, my understanding of it. This is a 4-hour deep dive. I am so sorry I cannot listen to 4 hours on it. But this is interesting. If this is the case, then it could be, again, if this is the case, then it could be that the activists being tossed overboard in the gaming industry, in Hollywood, whatever, that is just a surface level. Like, oh, look, guys, we heard you. We're listening. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, next time the people we hire are going to be sneakier. We're not going to hire people that are going to tell everybody what we're doing. That, you know what I'm saying? So it could very well be that, yeah, you're not going to get another Sweet Baby Inc., but you're still going to have organizations out there that do the same kind of thing. They're just not going to be loud and proud about it because you're literally telling people what you're doing. Hey, I'm going to break into your house and steal your shit. Is that okay? You don't tell people that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't tell people that. You're going to be sneakier about it. So Kirsha's saying that don't get excited. DEI is coming back and it's going to be more insidious and more powerful than ever. This person, anti-graffiti gobstopper, says, I'll take any victory because small wins are signs of life, and that can motivate more people to speak out. In the grand scheme of things, though, they don't matter. It's an ideological battle, not an economic one. There is a fundamental failure to understand the stakes. The purpose is not even small victory. They said the DEI positions are being purposefully culled so they make us think that we're winning while they go about implementing bridge as an everyman's activity at every company. Heading it off before it gets to that point is important. So that is what is, again, just a very basic understanding of what is going on. They are, again, according to this VTuber, and no offense, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it, obviously, to the level that they have, but they are sounding the alarms, saying that people like Timcast are wrong, that DEI is not being reversed. It's just being repackaged, rebranded. So it's interesting, though. This comes, I just happened to find this. This is Google for Games, the DEI pillars, and you can take the pledge, the diversity pledge. And they have a whole site. And this was 2023. They put this together. Global gaming audience demands diverse companies, content, and perspectives. So what is the pledge? Let's take the pledge. I will build teams with a broad variety of backgrounds and perspectives. Sure. I will create games that offer diverse worlds and characters. I will seek to serve gamers of all identities and life experiences. Take the pledge. Championing diversity is a collective responsibility. Make your stand by sharing these pledges to your network with friends, colleagues, family, anyone who wants to build a more inclusive gaming community. I'm a DEI champion, and I pledge to build teams that include the widest possible variety of backgrounds and perspectives. Create games that offer a wide variety of worlds, characters, experience, life experiences. Okay. And then you share it. This is the first I've heard of this. So this is Google's Global Insight Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Report 2023. And this is Google, right? So, I mean, they control the flow of spice on the internet. And as of, just a year ago, they were talking about the importance of diversity in gaming. So when you've got a company like Google out there saying that you need to be more diverse and inclusive, and then you have companies out there like Sweet Baby Inc. or, all the other ones out there, there's other ones out there, and they're going to be solution selling. Have you guys heard of solution selling? Okay, so solution selling, which I used to do, actually. It was part of my job. I was a marketing guy for, I won't get into too many details, but I was a marketing guy for a company that did work for the government, for major corporations. We did, we offered solutions for companies. And basically, you're like, hey, you've got a problem. You're not diverse and inclusive enough. Did you take that diversity pledge? Are you doing your bridge work? Well, tell you what, I got something for you. At my company, this is all we do. We consult companies like yours, and we tell them how to be in compliance with the diversity standards set forth by Google or Bridge or what, I'm saying? That's what they do. The expectations. Oh, look, Twitter's angry that too many white guys are working at your company. We can fix that. This is coming from Google. Steps developers should take to promote positivity and inclusivity in games. Ban players and users who engage in toxic behavior. Remove vulgar and hateful player-created content. Create an easy-to-understand code of conduct. Ban certain words or phrases from use in text, chat, forums, etc. Encourage collaboration or pro-social behavior through gameplay. Encourage pro-social behavior through gameplay. Sounds like training people. Focus on accessibility. Encourage community members to share positive experiences. Support low-stakes casual modes of gameplay. Maintain dedicated community development staff. Include a commendation system. Limit communication inside of games. Interesting. That's interesting. So this was just last year. Reasons for preferring to be anonymous in games. People are saying they want to be anonymous in games so they're not discriminated against. I think it's probably just so people don't show up at your doorstep. I've actually heard of people taking online fights into the real world. Main respondents, 42%, so there are more accessibility options. They wish that more games supported. Color adjustments, audio description. Okay, that's accessibility. So this is interesting. This is something I might look into. I might tear into this more. But it does seem like, yeah, they're not going to give up. You know, it's not going to change overnight. They're not going to give up on it. They're never going to. There are people working in the video game industry or working, you know, at different investment firms, whatever. They're not going to stop this. They're just going to try to make it more palatable, because you can't just come at people directly and be like, oh yeah, we're going to do this and change this and do that. No, but it's still going to be there. And again, I want to be very clear. I'm not against diversity in gaming. I think games have always been diverse, but if it's corporate mandated stuff, or even worse, government mandated stuff, then that's a slippery slope, man. I'm just saying. So what do you think about this? You know, I'm sure we're going to get people in the comments that are a lot more versed in this than I am, but you can check out Kersha's tweets. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but check out the YouTube channel for yourself. There's information on Bridge out there, and this is actually Google's own document. It's games.withgoogle.com/DEI-pillars. Take the pledge. You can take the pledge. I just happened to find this looking for information on Bridge, actually. So it's kind of interesting. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.